In this segment of our 7 Steps to Work You Love, I want to talk about informational interviewing. And I want to begin with a story that I hope will help you understand the power of informational interviewing and the posture that you need to take when you are doing an informational interview. Never lose holy curiosity. If you take a tip from one of the philosophical icons of the 20th century, Albert Einstein, you'll understand that curiosity begins with questions. And I'd like to tell you a little story as I reflected on when I began informational interviewing myself. Was when I was 5 years old. And I'd like to ask you to think about when you first started asking questions. Now, we all have cousins, and I want to tell you about a cousin of mine. I had 24 cousins, actually, and this was the oldest cousin and the one who I had the closest relationship. And Richard was 15 years old, and he started to ride his bike over to our house. My brother and I was 5 and my brother was 3, used to hang out with my 15-year-old cousin, and all we would do is ask him questions. First of all, what's it like to wear glasses? Richard had glasses, and it was symptomatic of an illness that caused him to leave us rather early. At the time he was with us, he was a very generous person and very patient with a lot of questions. What's it like to ride a bike in the street? Well, it's a lot of fun. How did you come all the way from your house over to our house? That's a long way. Well, you just follow these street lights and you'll get here. And what's it like to be in school? Well, it's okay. I hang out with my friends. And who's your favorite musician? I like Elvis Presley. And we just had question after question. He just smiled and listened and then gave us his answers and really enjoyed hanging out with us. We really look forward to his visits. Now, what does that have to do with an informational interview? It actually has a lot to do with an informational interview because curiosity is at the core of success in informational interviewing. If you think about the things that you are really passionate about doing in your life and find people who are already doing that, you will start with a great base in understanding how it is to succeed in this type of interviewing. So an informational interview is not a job interview. You want to talk with someone who's doing what you would like to do or who works in an industry where you'd like to be a part of that industry in some fashion. You contact them in an initial way to set up the time that you'll meet with them, and usually with an email in advance or preferably with somebody who knows someone in that industry and can recommend that they talk to you. When you structure the meeting, you want to make sure that they know it's going to be on their turf, on their time, and a limited amount of time, 20 minutes to 30 minutes max. And when you get together with them, you start it out very structured manner. I have a few questions for you I'd like to ask, if you wouldn't mind just telling me a little bit about yourself and what you do, and then a little bit about your company, a little bit about your industry. And with the curiosity that a true skilled informational interviewer has, it turns into a very engaging conversation because people like to talk about themselves, and you're going to make it fun for them by giving them a chance to do an informational interview.